757 WIFO FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, 105.5 on your FM dial. And Bob, we got a very special Butch and Bob show this morning. We've got a guest in here right now. We got some more guests in the green room. And we're back to video streaming the Butch and Bob show on BigDogCountry.com. So a morning of a lot of excitement here, Bob.
The big news is Jonathan's back.
Jonathan's back.
Welcome back, Jonathan.
Welcome back, Jonathan. Jonathan's back, and he's in there in the production room doing all the production stuff that needs to be done. But right now, we want to start with the Butch and Bob show. And Bob, who is our guest right now?
We got our newly elected DA in the studio, Keith Higgins. First of all, congratulations on winning the election.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that.
And there's a lot of questions, a lot of preparation. Already the story in Wayne County is you're possibly going to close this office. Any truth to that, or what's going to happen there?
Not at all. That was a lie that was spread during the campaign. I refuted that then. I refuted again. That was never a consideration in my mind to do that. The office is going to stay open. If anything, I'm going to add personnel to it.
Is there an office in every circuit? I mean, every county? There's 5 counties in the circuit. Is there an office in every one? I'm not sure.
There is not. There is not a office currently in Jeff Davis County. They sort of get the short end of the stick. There's an office in Camden, Glenn, Wayne, and Appling. And so I'm going to be taking a look at whether or not it's possible to add an office in Jeff Davis. I think they deserve equal treatment and equal consideration in this judicial circuit. So I'll be taking a look at doing that.
The sheriff, there's already discussion, everybody that's got a job keeps their job through state law. What about the DA's office? How does that work? That's what everybody wants to know. Who's staying, who's going? Are they guaranteed a job, or do they have to reapply, or how's that work?
Well, the district attorney's office, people who work for the district attorney's office serve at the pleasure of the district attorney. So quite often when a new district attorney comes in, they want to put their own people or hire their own people to come into office. I really haven't made any decisions with regard to who's staying, who's going, things of that nature. So I will be, anybody who's currently employed by the district attorney's office, I'm going to allow them to reapply for their position if they want to stay, to communicate that to me by reapplying for their positions, and then taking each employee on an individual basis.
All right. How many employees in this circuit? Have you any idea?
Ms. Johnson during the campaign, and I don't know who was added into the number that she came up with, but indicated that there was a staff of 45 people. So that's what I presume the numbers are at this point in time.
All right. So how soon do you do that process? I mean, is that what you do between now and January? Do you take office January 1, or how's that work?
Well, yes. Ms. Johnson graciously offered the day after the election, offered to let me come into the office and get a lay of the land, so to speak, to smooth the transition coming January 1. And so I'm going to take advantage of that opportunity. We're, in fact, scheduled to meet 2 o'clock Friday of this week with regard to that. So we'll be, myself and a member of my transition team will be going in and meeting with her Friday at 2 p.m. to sort of work out the details of the transition, if you will, in terms of finding out certain information that's necessary to make sure that we hit the ground running, so to speak, on January 1.
Right. So, like I said, you got to have prosecutors. You can't prosecute every case yourself. So you have to have a team together.
Absolutely. The district attorney, quite frankly, as an administrator, as a manager, if you will, of those that they employ, if a district attorney is doing their job properly, the district attorney will try very few cases. Those assistant district attorneys that are hired by the district attorney should be doing the trial work and handling that. You hire good people, you train them the way they should be, hire and retain good people. You train them up in the way that they should be, you set the policies and procedures, and then you let them do their job.
We're looking at their election results. Glenn County is the place where you won it almost 2-1, but the other circuits you lost. Wayne, Jeff Davis, Appling, and Camden went her way. So any concern about that?
Not at all. I mean, the job is the job. It's to seek and do justice. It's to be fair to everyone. I will be working for every single person that lives in this 5-county judicial circuit, whether they voted for me or not, because the job is still the same.
I know the grand juries are starting to meet here in Wayne County this month. What about trials? when did they begin with the COVID situation? We still haven't had any, trials, no murder trials. Everything's been put on. Anything with the jury has been put on hold due to the COVID concerns. So what's the latest on that status? I know the judge and the circuits get together and make that assumption. So where do we stand on that circuit-wide?
Well, circuit-wide in terms of trials, it's my understanding that we're going to have a week of trials in Glenn County toward the end of January. I've met with some of the judges, and I know that's going to happen. We're going to start out to try to get the bugs out, if you will, of the system of trying jury trials during the time of COVID. There's a lot of special precautions that have to be taken with regard to that. I know that a grand jury has been sworn in Camden. I know that a grand jury has been sworn in Glenn County, I believe yesterday or day before yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not sure if a grand jury's been sworn in here in Wayne yet or not. I believe it's supposed to happen sometime in the middle part.
This month. I want to say the 19th is the date I saw, but I know Francis sent us the press release to let people know that they were getting summons in the mail when they got their summons to make sure they returned to us quickly. So I think it's sometime later this month, but I think they are planning this. But haven't heard anything about a trial yet in Wayne County. That's what I keep asking for, and haven't got a date on that yet.
Yes, sir. I believe that the grand jury, I talked to Ms. Jurgen, and I believe in my conversation she indicated the grand jury may be coming in on the 18th, 19th, somewhere in that you have the same understanding of. So we've got to get the process rolling. The judges are working hard to do that. The clerks of court are doing that as well to start getting cases into the court system and also getting them tried as well.
Court is taking, for people that may not understand, court is taking place there with guilty pleas, things like that. A lot of this is being done by Zoom, right? Is that correct? That's the way I understand it.
I've done some in-person court, actually, with regard to pleas. There's been situations where an individual who may be in jail is on video stream to the courtroom, and there's certain people that are in person in the courtroom and things of that nature. So it's been sort of a hybrid situation. Some things have been done totally by Zoom or whatever the equivalent type software program that's being used. Some has been done in person, some a combination of both.
Well, right now, the COVID cases, unfortunately, are spiking everywhere. We got Joe Roddy coming in tomorrow in the world famous Butch and Bob Show. Give us the update on what's going on in Wayne County. I'm not sure what's going on in Glenn County and Camden, but here in Wayne County, the cases seem to be rising. So there's a lot of concern right now. Word is going to go. I mean, you watch the national news. I mean, nationwide, everybody's in the red right now.
Yes, that's my understanding as well, and that's all the more important for the court working as it has been doing to take those precautions that are necessary, because when somebody's comes in to sit on a grand jury or a trial jury, they're being compelled to do that. So the judges are being very particular and careful about putting in place the precautions that are necessary, that when the citizens come in to serve, that they are as safe as possible.
And I can tell you, it's a 5-county circuit. It's a pretty wide circuit, so there's a lot of traveling. So I'm sure you trying to get all that staff together, I imagine between now and January, you're going to be pretty busy.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's you gotta hit the ground running as soon as you take office, and that's what I plan to do. I plan to have everything pretty much in place before January 1. Ms. Johnson is allowing that opportunity. Like I said, that was very gracious of her for me to come in and sort of get a lay of the land and find out some specifics with regard to the office. And so I do appreciate that, and I give credit where credit is due. In the
studio with us this morning is District Attorney-elect Keith Higgins. I just wanted to let people know once again, in case they just happened to tune in and say, who is that person talking on the radio? And so District Attorney-elect Keith Higgins is in here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. And Mr. Duncan, if you would, tell folks a little bit about your history, where you're from, and what you do, and how you got in this position to run for District Attorney, just in case they really haven't paid attention, but now they are.
Well, I've been married for 38 years to my wife, Virginia. We raised 4 children in Glenn County. How we ended up in Glenn County is Mr. Glenn Thomas Jr. hired me back in February of 1988 to come down and work for him as an assistant district attorney. And then I stayed on once Stephen Kelly was elected to be his successor. I stayed on and worked for him for 14 years. And then after that, I've been in private practice now almost 10 years to the day. I believe believe November the 11th was the day that I actually incorporated or created my law firm back in 2010. So I've got experience as an assistant district attorney of about 23 years. I've worked under the administration of both a Democrat, Glenn Thomas Jr., and a Republican, Stephen Kelly. And the office didn't change at all because partisan politics doesn't affect what a district attorney or what an assistant district attorney does. It's our duty to enforce the law without fear, favor, or affection, enforce it as it is written, and enforce it in a way that no one is above the law. And that's what I did for close to 23 years, and that's what the office will continue to do under my administration.
So when you decided to run for district attorney, your desire to become the new district attorney, if possible, if you got elected, which you did, was greater than staying in private practice. You wanted to serve in a different way. Is that correct?
Correct. Being an assistant district attorney or being the district attorney is something that's my heart. That's what I feel called to do. That's what I want to do, is to serve other people and to continue to serve them. And I just felt that my best way of serving other people and people in this 5-county judicial circuit was by being the district attorney.
Okay. District Attorney-elect Keith Higgins, our special guest this morning on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. Bob, continue. I just wanted to lay that foundation there in case people are saying, I really don't know much about him, but now they do a little bit. Okay.
Well, I just appreciate you coming in. Like I said, we appreciate you coming in during the campaign. Like I said, look forward to working with you and congratulate you again. And I said you're going to be busy between now and January going to all these counties, putting together the staff. So I'm sure that's a tall task.
It is, and one of the things that I'm planning on doing as district attorney is I feel that every single person in this judicial circuit and every single county in this judicial circuit is equally important to me. I'm going to be in all 5 counties, plan on being in all 5 counties at least once every month. I'm wanting, as part of my platform, if you will, was to meet with citizens in each and every county at least once per month to address their questions and their concerns, and that's something that I'm going to do. I made certain promises during the campaign, and I plan on keeping those.
Well, you've got a lot of big cases that will be coming up this next year. Then you really will be getting into the fire right off the bat there, because there's a lot of big cases, not only in Glenn County, but in Wayne County and other counties around. So you've got a big task ahead, and I'm sure that you'll put the team together that you'll think they'll be able to meet up with that task.
Yes, sir, absolutely. I've already reached out to current employees and already reached out to certain individuals that are not currently employed in the office as well, because one of the things that I also said during this campaign is I plan to add additional full-time prosecuting attorneys to the office. And so not only keeping attorneys that are currently employed, but also adding additional prosecutors to the office as well.
So kind of like Glenn Thomas reached out to you many years ago in '88 when you lived out of town, are you doing the same thing to qualify people that you think are qualified for the position of being as part of your staff to move into this district?
Absolutely. I've already taken those steps and reached out and have received some resumes in that regard.
Okay. Is that difficult, though? Because, like I said, everybody knows most people in private practice make more than they do working for the state.
Well, 2020 is a real unusual year in many ways. You have 8 new district attorneys coming into office on January 1. And there's only 49 in the state. So that's close to 20% turnover in terms of district attorneys who are in office. And because of that has opened up, quite frankly, the availability of some assistant district attorneys from other judicial circuits. And so not to give away any secrets, there aren't any. I plan to be transparent. I've reached out to those offices where there's new district attorneys coming in to see if any of their assistants want to change locations, and I've gotten some positive responses about that.
Does the funding for the district attorney's staff and office come from the different counties, from the 5 counties you'll be working in?
Partially. Each of the 5 counties does contribute to the funding of the district attorney's office and their budget on an individual basis. And there's other sources of funding as well. The state funds the district attorney's office. There's what's called 5% money that comes from fines that are paid throughout the circuit that comes to the district attorney's office as funding. There are forfeiture cases that are filed in which certain funds or property may be forfeited to the state of Georgia, and a certain amount of that comes to the district attorney's office as well that can be used as funding. And then some of the assistant district attorneys are funded by the state. At their benefits and their salaries are paid entirely by the state of Georgia. So there's about 4 or 5 different sources of funding.
Okay. All right, Bob, anything else for Keith?
Just Ken, good luck. Appreciate it. Look forward to working with you.
I appreciate it, Butch and Bob, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, we got more guests in the green room here for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. They'll be on in a moment right here on WIFO FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio.
When it comes to growing a family business, we understand the business of growing. At First Southern Bank, we've been meeting the needs of South Georgia farmers for over 100 years with competitive ag loan rates, including equipment loans, farmland loans, and lines of credit. First Southern Bank has all the banking tools you need to help keep your growing business growing. First Southern Bank, investing in you since 1907. For loan rates and more, visit firstsoutherngA.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings restaurant in Jesup is now open for business, practicing social distancing, but still serving that great food that Damon's is famous for. Come inside or come through the drive-thru, but Damon's is open inside and welcomes back its customers. The menu's the same, the service is fast, and the food is fantastic, and the sauces remain the same, mild, wild, insane, or inferno. The number is the same, 588-WING, 588-9464. Damon's Restaurant on West Cherry Street in Jesup. Dining room now open for business. Come on in and enjoy a great meal today.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jesup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jesup.
14 minutes after 8 o'clock, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. And, Bob, we continue on with the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. Who do we have in now?
We got the Chamber and City Hall. We got Molly and Dean in here. Again, talking about the Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade. And the theme is Making Spirits Bright. I told them hopefully they won't turn out the lights because they don't have a lot of
made a great point yesterday.
They don't have a lot of entries right now. So, and without entries, you can't have a parade. So where we stand, I know you're going to do the deadline Monday, the 16th. Is that correct?
We are.
This is Dina, y'all.
This is Dina with the Chamber. Molly is here with me as a Christmas parade committee member. So we met on Tuesday and discussed where we're at with everything. We do have only a handful of confirmed entries. We decided that we needed to kind of light the fire under the community in the next few days so that we could make a decision whether to continue with the parade or not. And of course it is a reverse parade. Since I sent out an email to our members and posted on Facebook on Tuesday, just letting the community know that we at this point are undecisive because we haven't gotten many entries. And we can't.
We say it all the time, Wayne County always waits to the last minute, but unfortunately with the planning stage you can't wait till the last minute. You have to have a certain amount of entries before you can, That's
right. And a couple of things with that is, of course, with the reverse parade this year, there's not as much building and planning and preparing and decorating as we normally have with a traditional parade, but we do still have a lot of that we have to do. Logistics, all of that is things that we work on ahead of time, and that is dependent on how many entries we have so that we know, how to set up the spots, where to set people up, and that sort of thing. And yes, people like to wait till the last minute. We also have to think about our wonderful sponsors and how we advertise for them every year. We do banners, we do signs, and that sort of thing, and that's not something that we can produce overnight. So originally our deadline for entries was November the 30th. but we are trying to, like I said, light a fire into the community. If you plan to be a part of the parade this year, we would like to hear from you by Monday, end of business day on Monday. That way we can make a decision whether we're going to be able to move forward with this. We hate to have just a few entries. People work really hard to put their floats and their entries together every year, and it's a lot of work on them. It's a lot of work on us. My committee are all volunteers. They work full-time jobs, and then on their off time away from their families, they spend a lot of time putting things together for a parade, and we just need to make a decision. We do not want to cancel the parade. And since I sent out the email and posted on Facebook on Tuesday, I've had numerous calls and emails, and someone shared our post on the Wayne County Concerned Citizens page, and there were several comments. And the biggest thing I'm hearing is, why not have a traditional parade? Well, that's what we would love to do. But as we've been hearing since March, due to COVID-19, fill in the blank. Everything has
there's reasons
changed.
why we've talked about that many times.
That's right.
The city of Jesup right now has a stance where you can't have a parade.
That's exactly right. We were told.
That's why the Veterans Day was moving to Odom,
That's
because
right.
the city of Jesup is, with COVID concerns, there's no parade in the city of Jesup. That's why it's
That's
not
right.
downtown.
We asked. We knew what the answer was going to be, but we asked anyway. Can we have our? Can we host our traditional
I thought
parade?
people knew
No.
that by now.
That's right.
Where they at? They live in Poland? I mean, where do they do?
Then
They live
hearing,
in the creases and cresses of social media.
right.
That's why they don't know what's going
So
on.
we had to drop back and punt. This is a new year for everybody. Everything is new for everybody. This is uncharted territory. We've had to, we haven't been able to host a lot of events that we normally do. But the Christmas parade is such a big deal for our community, always has been, and we didn't want to do nothing. So we tried to come up with something that would at least kick off the holiday season. And I thought the reverse parade was a great idea. I'm still...
It is a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, all these, since you posted the fact that you really needed entries, have you had more entries that have made things look brighter for us to be able to have the parade?
We've had a few.
A few,
yes.
We were talking about this yesterday. A lot of people are thinking, are they going to have it or not going to have it? Should I say on put it entry there or not put an entry in there? What's going to be happening by then? But people just need to act like, yes, we're going to have this reverse parade. Yes, I'd like to have a display there of some sort, and get seen by thousands of people as they drive by.
That's
so
right.
Let's do it, folks.
The other thing that we stressed from the beginning when we released that we were going to have the reverse parade, when we came on here and talked about it, all of our posts on Facebook, everything that's gone in the newspaper, is we are still setting this up with social distancing in mind. I can't even talk this morning. Anyway, the size of the spots are large enough. We're limiting the number of folks that can be in one area. Folks will have to stay in their assigned spot. People can't get out of their vehicles. There's been a lot of questions on, that sort of thing. We have people lined up that'll be along the parade route to keep people where they're supposed to be, keep the traffic moving and flowing. And
for the average person out there, they're going to be in their car.
That's right.
Truck, SUV, whatever you want to go, in their vehicles. They just slowly ride by and take a look at the different entries in the parade. So, as we mentioned before, instead of the parade going by you, you'll be riding by it. It'll be set up there at the high school and also along Martha Buck Middle School also. So you'll ride by, you'll get to see the parade entries. And as we mentioned before when you were on here, it's a lot easier for people to put together an entry into the parade because they don't have to worry about it moving.
Yes.
You can sit there in that big old spot and you can put as many lights and music and people as you want, and put your signs up for your different organization or business, and still get seen by a lot of folks. Molly, what's going on with the city?
Well, I'm not here on behalf of the city, really. I'm here as a Christmas parade committee
member, not the city, okay?
I have been on this committee for probably the last 5 years, I believe. And as Dana mentioned, everybody on the committee really works really hard to put this on for the community. They do volunteer a lot of time, and a lot of work behind the scenes goes on. And so I think I really do want to commend the committee for deciding, not just to say we're not going to have it and to try and do something a little bit different. People don't like change, and it is definitely a little bit different. Everything is different this year, and that's been very difficult for everybody. I think there are a lot of frustrations, and you're always going to have the naysayers. But this is for the community, and at Christmas time, I think it's important to remember that. So,
let me ask you a question. When you think of the Christmas parade, I'm just going by certain interest. The high school band's always in the parade. Will they be at the reverse? Will they be set up?
Yes.
They'll be playing.
We do have it set up so that the band can still participate.
Right.
Our dance groups would still be able to participate.
Another part of the parade Another part of the parade is the chamber has the awards banquet, and they always. I don't know if those winners, will they be on display?
Yes, they would be on display as well. All of our award winners would.
So those are already set in place.
Yes.
They've got those. So
yes.
They're just looking for floats and other entries into the parade. So
that's right.
Well, hopefully by Monday, you'll have enough. So maybe
we hope so. We do not want to cancel.
I mean, we stressed that, and you said that in the press release. They want to have the parade.
Yes.
I mean, that's the goal, is to have one. Most people want one, but in order to have one, you have to have entries in the parade. Right. So it's a matter of the churches and the organizations and whoever to make the decision that they're going to put an entry into the parade. So.
Yes.
And I wouldn't worry about the naysayers. There's people who troll on the internet. They live off of negativity.
Absolutely.
And so you don't worry about that. They got negative thoughts on everything because they're just negative people. Some of them. So just don't worry about that. Just go ahead with the parade and let's have it and let's move forward.
It's a happy time.
That's right.
The theme is to make spirits bright. Forget the naysayers. Come on.
Before we
Christmas.
go, I do want to mention our sponsors, because we've had lots of folks that have stepped up and as always have wanted to sponsor this event. So our presenting sponsor this year is Marshland Credit Union. We have a Santa and Mrs. Claus sponsor this year. That's Interstate Credit Union. And then some of our other sponsors are Wayne County Sheriff's Office, Satilla EMC, Wayne County IDA, the Historic Strand, First Horizon, Leah Jones, Attorney at Law, Southern Ionics Minerals, City of Scriven, Hoggenbones, and Fraser's Appliance.
Now, once again, you were over here a couple of weeks ago when we talked about how the reverse parade is going to work and where it's going to be. So let's assume out there people are tuning in right now who have no idea what we're talking about, where the reverse parade is not going to be the regular parade that goes down Cherry Street and First Street. It's going to be a stationary parade as the viewers, just ride by. Tell us about that.
You want to tell them?
Sure.
I'll let
Go ahead, Molly.
Sure. So the floats will be stationary, and it will start behind Wayne County High School, between the high school and the practice field. So people will be able to enter either from Henson Mosley, coming from either direction.
So you just come off Joey Williamson Road there and
Joey Williamson, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, Joey Williamson.
And turn right there behind the high school at the practice field down. What's the name of that road?
Durrance
Road. And you just follow it on around and then around Martha Puckett.
Yep.
And you said floats, but it can be a lot more. It can just be vehicles just sitting there.
It could be,
it could just be a stationary setup, a vehicle of some sort. Regular floats, whatever the case may be. Instead of moving, it'll just be sitting. So it will be easier for the folks to put entries in this year's parade.
That's correct. I mean, because every year, usually, people that want to participate have to get a truck and a trailer if they want to do a float, and they have to decorate it. This will be stationary. You can do any kind of display you would like, and it'll only be seen from one side, too. So
and the other thing is y'all talked about there is they have time on that Saturday, afternoon, to put it all up and get it ready to go.
That's right. So that would begin at 12 noon on that Saturday, and we haven't even said the date. It's Saturday, December the 5th. So folks would have all day or starting around noon to set their entries up, and we ask that everyone be in place and set up by 5:30. Our judges will go through at 5:30 and judge, and then from 7 to 9 p.m. We'll allow that route to be open for the community to ride through and look at all the displays.
Okay. Well, sounds good. It ought to be a great event. So many things are being canceled. It would be great for us to be able to have something that can lift the spirits up here in Wayne County, and people ride by and see the parade. So
that's right.
You'll actually be the one that looks like a parade, but you'll get to see all the entries on the side of the road.
Right. So I want to encourage the community, if you would like to be a part of the parade this year, please let us know at the chamber by the end of day on Monday. We do not need to know the details of your entry at this point. We just need to just have a confirmation that we're going to have enough entries to make this event a hit. So if you guys will just call us, email us, just let us know by Monday.
And the phone number to the chamber is 427-2028, 427-2028. And just say, I'd like to put something in the parade. And then you can work out the details.
That's right.
And so is there an entry fee for the parade this year?
It is $35
as usual.
Yes,
okay.
And $45 for non-members.
And then you have a chance to win it back if you're one of the winners of the different categories. There'll be several different categories. Mm-hmm. You'll have judges coming in as usual from out of town.
Out-of-town judges.
Yeah, so everything's pretty much the same, except the parade will be stationary and you'll be moving instead of the other way around.
That's right.
Anything else, Molly?
Nope. I just hope that people will show the support for this event and call the chamber if you'd like to enter.
Okay. All right. Bob, anything else for our ladies this morning?
Always good to see y'all.
Okay.
Yes,
well, hopefully when you come back
much.
next week, you'll say, the parade's on. We got all kinds of entries, and we're all excited.
That's right. That's what we're hoping for.
All right. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you,
all
too.
Right.